And he cried with a loud voice, as when a lion roareth. And when he cried, 7 thunders uttered their voices. Kingdom come.
Paging Dr. Bender.
And there followed hail and fire, mingled with blood.
Wesley.
There fell a great star from heaven, burning as if it were a lamp, and I beheld and heard an angel.
Not again.
Saying with a loud voice, Woe, woe, woe unto the inhabitants of the earth.
That's enough, Wesley. You know what the doctor said about overexerting yourself. You'll pull out the IV tube.
It's in the Revelation of St. John. All of it. I can go on. There's more. You're my pastor, Norman. I can tell you. I see things. Divine prophecies.
Nightmares, Wesley. You've had them before. That's why you're in the hospital.
Not nightmares, Pastor. Visions. Visions. I see an eagle carrying a golden lance.
I know, Wesley.
And the great bat. Dark, shrieking. They're fighting. Legions of the mighty drowning in a lake of fire, washed up on waves of burning sand.
I know, Wesley. You've told me before.
And a flag in the shape of a man, red, white, and blue, but the red is blood red. The man is tattered and torn, lost behind a wall of fire.
Please, Wesley, I'm trying to help. Don't make me call the nurse again.
7 thunders will utter their voices, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints. Babylon falls, Norman. Be the one who listens to me.
Wesley, you shouldn't be getting out of bed. Nurse! Nurse!
The sands run out, and I can do nothing but wait in my own filth for sleep to finally claim me. Someone must act.
Oh, jeez, Mr. Dodds. Doctor, Mr. Dodds has pulled out his IVs again.
Wesley, please, take comfort. There is peace waiting.
Of course there is, Norman. For me, not for you.
Nurse, 100 cc's of Demerol. Quickly, please.
There, Mr. Dodds. Let's get you back into bed, and we'll fix up something that'll help you sleep.
Hear me, Norman. I owe you much. Yet I have nothing to leave you, save insight. And I will give power unto my 2 witnesses.
Just hold still, Mr. Dodds. This'll bring you pleasant dreams.
Be my witness, Pastor. It's all there in the Bible. The end is near. Read the book.
Wesley, this isn't the time.
Read.
It might help if you do what he says.
All right. 1 Corinthians. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. There was more, but Wesley Dodds never heard it. In the end, he was listening to another voice. A voice, I hope, that brought him peace.
Amen. A fine eulogy, Pastor McKay.
Oh, thanks. And thank you, Mrs. Waters, for coming out to fill out the crowd. Wesley Dodds deserved to have people at his funeral. And people from the church was all I could think of.
From the looks of things, I'd say he didn't have many friends.
Not at the end, anyway.
Did you know him long?
Not really. He came to the church toward the end of his life, questioning what there was to believe in these days. I wish now I'd had better answers.
Well, it's nice seeing you.
You know, the 3 of us shared quite a few dinners in our apartment. My wife, Ellen, God rest her soul, used to tease Wesley about living in the past.
That's nice, but it's getting late.
The next minute, she was practically begging him to tell another tale of his glory days.
Glory days?
Yes, apparently he was quite an adventurer in his early days. Back then, his dreams were of yesterdays, not tomorrows. Of bright times, not barbaric.
What sort of adventurer?
Oh, well, a costumed adventurer. He called himself the Sandman. He was a superhero.
Superheroes?
You'll excuse the expression.
I can't say I think much of these costume types anymore. The water on my block was shut off for a week after the last fight they had. Newspapers call the fights rumbles. Makes them sound dramatic. But they're just brawls, gang wars. Superheroes. There hasn't been a real superhero in the world since Superman vanished. And that was years ago. I can't say I think much of this character who took his place, this Magog or whatever he calls himself. Nothing but a thug, if you ask me.
Hey, Pastor, can we give you a ride?
Yeah, no thanks. The rain should be clearing up. I think I'll walk. I lost my faith in an interesting way. For years I'd believed in God, in salvation, in the idea of being holy. I believed that an educated man who does not believe in miracles is not a realist. Oh, I bought it all. But sometime around the turn of the century, I lost it. No single act drove me to despair, not even when my beloved Ellen passed on. It was more the constant reminders, day in and day out, that we were insignificant, that humans didn't matter. Humanity seemed to dwindle as the world teetered on the brink. No one seemed to notice. People like Mrs. Waters feel the frustration, but they don't really understand. No one does, except maybe for Wesley Dodds, and now he's gone. Before the end, before the bitterness overcame him, before he started seeing things, we'd go for walks on streets just like this. For hours, he'd moan about the end of things like the Olympic Games and Nobel Prizes.
Collectible souvenirs, Hey, Pops, check out the merchandise.
Huh? No thanks.
You can't pass this up. Look, I got a genuine AM/FM radio from before the turn of the century. It still works. Check it out.
The United Nations today enacted more measures to curb metahuman violence around the globe. Secretary General Wormwood promised swift and effective action to deal with metahuman activities. However, a recent poll shows that 91% of U.S. citizens believe the new measures will be ineffective in stopping the frequent outbreaks of metahuman...
You like?
No, thank you.
Oh, come on, Pops. I got a signed game ball from the very last World Series ever played back in 2002. $200 and it's yours.
Sorry, no.
Okay, $150. What's the matter? Too steep for you? How about a signed copy of...
Sometimes Wesley would ambush complete strangers and ask them how much they missed the concept of human achievement. I don't know what surprised me more, the weirdness of the question or all the people who seemed to know what he was talking about. I tried to argue with him. I joked that he was grousing like any old codger, unable to appreciate the new generation. He wouldn't laugh. He insisted that human initiative began to erode the day people asked a new breed to face the future for them. He mocked their worth, these newcomers, and spoke instead of legends gone, of costume champions who had, in his day, inspired human achievement, not belittled it. He swore he'd never forget the world they came from. He wanted them to be remembered. He wanted them to live again. Good God, I'm starting to ramble as badly as he did. Feeling a little lightheaded, too. Maybe I need food.
Good afternoon, citizen. Welcome to Planet Krypton. How may I serve you?
Good Lord, what is this place? It used to be a deli.
Now it's a Planet Krypton. Super food served by superheroes. We got all the oldies here. The Flash, Martian Manhunter, and check out the decor. That's a real Batarang up there. Belonged to the Batman himself. At least, that's what the manager tells us.
Planet Krypton?
Come on, don't you get it? Pop culture references, very retro, very in. No offense, but you look like you've been around long enough to remember the old-timers. Batman, Fishman.
Aquaman.
Right, that's it. Me, I've never even seen those guys. I hear they're all retired now anyway, which is cool by me. I wouldn't want the real deal coming around and showing me up in this outfit. Although, it's not a bad job on these tights, huh? They tell me I make a pretty good green... what do you call it? Arrow?
Lantern.
Excuse me?
Green Lantern. You're dressed like Green Lantern.
Whatever. Who cares? They're all out to pasture now anyway.
A friend of mine cared.
Whatever you say. So, can I find you a table? I can seat you anywhere but Supergirl's section. That's always packed. Hey!
I don't know why that place bothers. I must be thinking about Wesley Dodds too much. Wesley Dodds, the Sandman, went to his grave without one grain of faith in the future. And the saddest part was, he wasn't alone. With each passing day, hope for tomorrow has become more and more precious, a commodity among everyday people. Still, I tried to keep the faith and keep to the scriptures. According to the word of God, the meek would someday inherit the earth. But God never accounted for the mighty.
Everyone get down!
Who's fighting?
Who cares?
I do. I mean, someone ought to.
This is Chuck Kochman reporting live for Bold Copy from Midtown Metropolis, where a rumble has just broken out between two groups of metahumans. Like dust devils coalescing from the tightening air, a handful of colored figures suddenly appeared in the sky, on the ground, on the walls, and roofs of buildings. They're beautiful, they're perfect, their skin is unblemished, the movements of their muscles like the ripples of tectonic plates. Some of the metahumans move too fast to be photographed, but I've already seen the superpowered female known as Night Star flying overhead, firing bolts of rippling purple-colored heat from her fingertips at a gigantic horned robot codenamed Tusk. I've also seen the metahuman known as Lightning unleash white streams of static at the infamous bull-headed monster called the Minotaur. The fire-wielding Phoebus is here, and so is 666 in his dark armor and darker tattoos. Okay, Sammy, bring it in for my close-up. Ready? Here goes. 3, 2. Once metahumans were known as heroes, but today our world is filled with their children and grandchildren. They number in the nameless thousands, progeny of the past, inspired by the legends of those who came before, but not the morals. You, sir, what's your name?
It's McKay. Tell that guy to put down his camera and help me. This little girl is hurt.
And what's your opinion of this latest superhero battle?
They're not superheroes. They're thugs. They're not fighting for the right. They fight simply to fight. Now help me. This girl needs help.
The superhumans boast that they've all but eliminated the supervillains of yesteryear. Small comfort. They move freely through the streets, through the world. They are challenged, but unopposed. They are, after all, our protectors.
And cut. That was great, Chucky.
Yeah. Did you get good shots of Night Star?
You kidding? That babe eats the lens. This is gonna look primo on the 6 o'clock news.
Come on, let's get out of here before we get hurt.
Help! Help! That little girl, are you all right?
Oh, my leg hurts. Oh.
Just stay still. I think the fight's moving off a little. I try to comfort the little girl, and I try to console myself, too. I tell myself that this, too, shall pass. That humans still have a chance to reclaim a world rightfully theirs while it still exists. That in the face of superhuman might and superhuman odds, time has not yet run out for humanity. I am wrong.
Mister, do you feel the ground moving?
I think that's just the battle.
No! It's something else!
We interrupt our regularly scheduled program to bring you this special report. There has been a nuclear explosion in Kansas. Bold Copy has exclusive footage of this terrible tragedy tonight at 11.
And there followed hail and fire mingled with blood, and the third part of the trees was burnt up, and all green grass was burnt up.
Pastor?
And he opened the bottomless pit, and the sun and the air were darkened.
Pastor?
Fear God, and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come.
Pastor McKay? Are you all right? One minute you were reading to us from the story of Joseph, and the next you were shouting out like, well, I don't know what. Is what you said in the Bible?
Revelations. It's from the Revelation of St. John. Forgive me, everyone. This isn't what I wanted to. Forgive me. And please excuse me. That's the end of the sermon. As they leave, they shy from my gaze. My congregation has trusted me for years, and today I betrayed them. In mourning, unable even to fathom the news that has stopped the world, they came to me seeking encouragement that I cannot give. The news, the explosion in Kansas. Wesley Dodds knew. The visions he had, the prophecies, the dreams. I thought he was senile, insane. But if he was, then so now am I. His dreams are now mine, and they are visions of utter despondence. The golden eagle, the dark-winged bat, the man behind the wall of red flames. I see them all. Wesley wanted someone to act, but what can anyone do? Kansas proved it. Thanks to the superhumans, the end is near. And the word of God is so very far away.
I have need of you, Norman McKay.
And now the visions talk to me. I have gone mad.
Hardly. In fact, your sanity may be paramount to mankind's survival.
Sanity? I just saw you walk through that stained glass window as if it wasn't there, and your skin, it's as white as snow, or death. And that green robe flapping around, but there's no breeze. And then you tell me I'm sane? You've got to be another vision.
I am the spiritual continuation of one that has been of your kind. Those of your plane who know me call me the Spectre. Even as I stand before you, an act of unspeakable evil has begun to manifest. Armageddon is fast approaching. But you know this. You have the dreams.
You see into my mind? My soul? Are you an angel?
Of a sort. A higher power has charged me with the task of punishing those responsible for this coming evil. Long ago, I would have judged swiftly with clarity, but my faculties are not what they once were. In order to carry out my task, I must anchor myself to a human soul who seeks justice.
But I don't understand.
You will.
Can you push back that green hood? I can hardly see your face.
You need not see my face, Norman McKay. Look into the face of chaos. Your answers lie there.
If this is true, if this is not some new delusion, then why me?
Because I came too late in search of the dreamer Wesley Dodds. He saw tomorrow with a power he did not understand, but passed to you nonetheless. Now your dreams will guide us both. In order to fulfill my mission, we must both witness the events that will lead to Armageddon. Come with me.
But I can't simply leave. My congregation depends on me. They look to me for guidance, especially now, after Kansas.
Come, Norman McKay. You will serve them in ways you cannot yet imagine.
Very well, but explain this to me. If you're truly a being of great power, how is it that you can find no way to avert this catastrophe?
That is not my task. Once, Earth boasted other saviors who might have stemmed the tide of destruction. But as you will see, they are no longer the solution. They are in many ways the problem.
How did you do that? We're not in the church anymore. We're somewhere else now. Where are we?
What do you see?
I see a Midwestern farmland, a bright blue sky, wheat fields, half-finished barn, a tractor, even a pen full of farm animals. This looks like Kansas, but that's not possible. Not after the explosion. This can't be.
Hey, boy, stop that. You'll spook the cattle.
This can't be Kansas.
There is no need to lower your voice. We cannot be seen or heard, not even by him.
That farmer, he looks familiar to me. But there's something not quite right. The beard, maybe. And the hair's too gray. Still, I feel like I've seen him before.
You have?
My God, he's pounding those nails into the barn with his bare hands.
Though he is not of this world.
Hup! He's lifting that tractor up with one hand.
He came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. You know him by a name he has not used in 10 years.
Superman!
Not since he began his self-imposed exile.
I remember. He left Metropolis. Something happened. There was a mass murder at the Daily Planet. A madman named the Joker filled the place with gas, killing everyone. And then the metahuman called Magog killed the Joker. And there was a trial.
Your memory serves.
Whatever happened drove Superman here, but my God, he's so alone.
Not always.
Hello, Clark. Hello, Kal-El.
Hello, Diana. Haven't seen you in months.
That woman, her star-spangled costume, is that?
Diana, a princess among the Amazons. In man's world, she is known as...
Wonder Woman. She's beautiful. But I read about her when I was so much younger. Even Superman has aged a little, but she looks the same as ever.
Time passes in different ways for different beings, Norman McKay. And though they do not age, immortals feel the weight of years as heavily as do men.
What brings you to the farm?
The vain hope that you're not still here.
But where is here? This can't be Kansas. Kansas is gone.
Attend.
You're needed, Clark.
Don't call me that.
I mean, Cal. You're needed back in the world. Kansas is gone.
Kansas?
Gone. It was Magog.
That's no longer my concern.
You can't live forever in solitude.
I'm Superman. I can do anything.
Except, apparently, face your fear.
I'm not afraid of him.
I didn't mean him. I meant... Cal, you've lost so much since I first met you.
Earthlings die. You know that.
They were your parents, Clark. Cal. And she was your wife. Don't call them Earthlings. Hear me out.
I have work to do, Diana. Here things grow.
Oh, really?
What's happening to the sky?
It is a hologram.
Well, then, this whole place is an illusion? But no, the animals are real, and the wheat field. Spectre, where are we?
On the continent of Antarctica, inside Superman's fortress of solitude.
Fortress of... Well, there were always rumors that Superman had a hiding place, but this is unbelievable.
Not any less believable than what you have seen. Far more believable than what you will see, Norman McKay. Attend.
Stop it, Diana. You're spooking the animals. Computer, reactivate holographic image.
At least I provoked a reaction in something. Listen to me, damn it. I've come with news from the outside. Bad news. It's shaken the world. Cal, Magog's out of control.
I tried to tell him that 10 years ago.
And the people of Metropolis didn't listen, I know. Stop punishing them.
I'm not interested. Door open.
You've locked yourself away in this lonely place for 10 years. Look what it's done to you. Do you live in nothing but lies?
I told you.
Here are 2 words. See if they sound familiar. Truth and justice. You can't have completely forgotten them. Just see for yourself. See what he has let happen to the world. That's all I ask.
Monitor room door open.
He's walking right over the edge of that pit. Watch out!
He cannot hear you, Norman McKay, and he has no need of fear.
Well, he's standing in midair. Oh, of course. I forgot.
View screens on.
The BBC has the whole battle captured on film. The fight began in the American city of St. Louis, where the metahuman known as Magog and his Justice Battalion descended upon the weathered creature known as the Parasite. The Parasite, once known as Maxwell Jensen, had the metahuman ability to absorb the powers of others. No one knows how the Parasite attracted the attention of the Justice Battalion, but all witnesses agreed that before long, all of Magog's forces arrived on the scene. Captain Atom, who could loose the nuclear energy of his own body. Judo Master, who was lethal at using her opponent's weight and inertia to her own advantage. Thunderbolt, a superhuman athlete and martial artist. Peacemaker, the misnamed weapons-smith. Nightshade, the otherworldly maniac who can summon a liquid darkness to the brightest of days. And Alloy, the giant biomechanical organism made of pure metal. And leading the battalion was Magog himself, his golden armor and horned helmet glowing in the sun. The battle crossed state lines and raged to the wheat fields of Kansas. Witnesses characterized the Parasite as fearful and willing to surrender. Leave me alone! Please! Leave me alone! Witnesses claim his pleas for mercy were ignored, and already people are speculating that the tragedy might have been averted had Magog relented. Onlookers were staggered, but not surprised by the savagery of the Justice Battalion's attack. Magog, one of the new breed of heroes, is best known as the one responsible for Superman's farewell to Metropolis. He can clearly be seen on camera ordering his team to ignore the Parasite's surrender. At this point, we will turn the commentary over to the on-site cameraman who captured the battle on film. These are the last words he ever spoke.
The Parasite's taking a beating and he's panicked! My God, why don't they leave him alone? Well, here comes Captain Atom. He's firing an energy blast. He touched the Parasite. Captain Atom got too close to touch the Parasite. He gained the Atom's powers. Oh, now he's firing back. Oh my God! He split Captain Atom open! He split him open!
At that point, the signal was cut off. Early reports indicate immediate casualties numbering close to 1 million as the dying atom's radioactive energy swept hundreds of kilometers, rendering the entire state of Kansas as well as parts of Nebraska, Iowa, and Missouri an irradiated wasteland. The total loss of America's breadbasket, the sterilization of its agrarian culture has thrown the world economy into near collapse.
Off.
Do you see now? Do you see why we need you? Cal, please. Our generation takes its lead from you. We always have. You must face this. If you don't, neither will the rest of us. And it just goes on. Cal?
Door open. There's nothing I can do from here. Go back to your island, Diana. You're safe there.
Cal, please, you...
She's gone, flown off. And now, what's happening to us? Are we flying too?
No, but we are moving. Or rather, space and time move around us.
She said, neither will the rest of us. Who did she mean?
Those who, a decade previous, felt the crush of Superman's greatest and most necessary failing, his inability to perceive himself as the inspiration he is. The shock of seeing Superman suddenly abandon his never-ending battle took an immeasurable toll on his contemporaries, his peers. Some, their spirits stripped, chose Superman's path and retired. Others, unable to turn their backs completely on the world they know, continue to use their special abilities to champion order, though in some most clandestine ways.
I know this place. I've been here before. This is Keystone City.
In the time of Superman's absence, Keystone City has become a utopia, a protectorate relentlessly patrolled by a gale force once human. No one sees him, no one hears him. He runs a lonely race, but all who live here have felt his presence. He is everywhere at once, a guardian angel who rights even the most harmless of wrongs with lightning speed. He lives between the ticks of a second. He is the Flash.
Where are we now?
The Pacific Northwest, where another of yesterday's guardians has claimed the forests as his area.
Look out! Fire! The mill's on fire! Someone just blew up the lumber mill!
Some call him a savior, others an environmental terrorist. He is feared, and justly, by those who would deprive the beasts and birds of their sanctuary. His name is Hawkman.
And now we're in space. I won't be able to breathe.
You have no need of breath, Norman McKay. You are now a creature of spirit. We are here to see the place where another former hero takes his refuge.
I see a space station. It's enormous and glowing with a strange green light.
He calls this place New Oa. High above the Earth's surface, his self-made emerald city twinkles in the night sky like a verdant star. There, Green Lantern commands a lonely throne, ever vigilant, ever waiting for signs of threats extraterrestrial. The gods of yesteryear no longer walk among the humans, Norman McKay. They have left humanity to its own fate.
But what of those who weren't gods? I remember another who made his home in Gotham City. What has become of the Batman?
Ah, Batman.
Don't hurt me! Take my purse, but please don't hurt me!
Sure thing, lady. You move! The next cab goes into you!
Come on, we got the green, let's jam!
Kind of robot. Shaped like a
bat! Run! There's another one over there! And over there!
We're surrounded!
Don't worry, I got my 9! That didn't do nothing!
Close it in!
There's no place to run! Ow! Ow!
Batman has his city under control.
Where are we now? Oh, wait, this bridge. I recognize the tram that runs alongside it, and this river. You've brought us to the Outerborough Bridge in Metropolis. I'm home.
This startles you?
It just seems so mundane. You've taken me to Antarctica and into space, and now we're back here?
I have taken you where destiny demands. Now we are done.
What?
We are done.
But that's all? That's what you have to show me?
That disturbs you?
Yes, you're an angel. That makes you a messenger of hope.
At no time did I promise you hope.
A greater power sent you. Your very existence is a testimony to faith. You mean that all you have to tell me is that those who could save us won't? Oh, Lord, what is it now?
The beginning.
More metahumans. Another rumble. Right here on Outerborough Bridge. Look, they're animals.
Hey, Mr. Terrific! I heard you was back in town.
That's right, 666. And I got friends with you. I want you to meet my lady friend. Calls herself the Joker's daughter. And my sizable second here is the battle robot Annihilate.
Targeting sequence activated.
I can open that tin can up with my Swiss Army knife. Besides, I brought backup too. Right, Manitar? You and your pals made a mistake standing on top of that tram, Mr. T. Those cables could snap at any minute. That is, with a little help from us. Open fire! Take it out!
Good Lord, all those people in the tram are in the line of fire. The metahumans are worse than before. They're not acting out of boredom, they're acting with abandon. Poor Kansas, they at least had some grasp of responsibility. Now they don't even have that. Nothing matters. They're following Magog's reckless lead. They're out of control.
Almost got the cable! Got it!
Don't you understand? If any of us are to survive, any of us, now more than ever, we need hope. And suddenly, there was a wind. No, not a wind. A blur of motion.
Hey! Someone just blew by me!
Bending the steel of their weapons. And changing the course of the mighty river below, swirling water up in a giant funnel to stop the fall of the tram car and set it gently on the bridge with all the passengers still inside. And even before the bystanders had freed themselves from the tram, they knew. We all did. He had come back. He had not abandoned us. He stood in the sky like a symbol of faith rewarded. The man of steel, the man of tomorrow, the last son of Krypton. For a brief moment, I am ecstatic.
Look.
But then it returns to me, the vision that haunted Wesley Dodds.
Up in the sky.
I see the vision. The man trapped behind a wall of flame, screaming in agony.
It's a bird.
It's him.
It's a plane.
It's Superman. Dear God, the threat of Armageddon hasn't ended. It's just begun.